For the first time, we see a decrease. We saw it in 2008 happen, and it's the first time since 2008 that the Federal Open Market Committee has done something so drastic. So a big historic cut today. What does that mean for buyers? What does that mean for end users? And what does that mean for you, ladies and gentlemen, as an investor? Fed's cut rates by 0.5 point, but is it enough to do anything to the real estate market long term? Now you answer the question. We had 11 rate hikes from March of 2022 to July of 2023 with only a 1-month gap. Every single month, month over month, we had an increase with the exception of June of 2023 where it just sat stagnant. 11 straight hikes. Now, since then, in September of 2023 to the current date, we had 8 stagnant months where the market did not move at all. Didn't go up, didn't go down, but it just sat plateauing over the course of 8 months. So when we look at March of 2022, where it went up 25 basis points, May, 50 basis points, June of 2022, 75, July, September, November, each of those months up 75 basis points, December, 50 basis points, February, March, and May of 2023, 25 basis points. We skipped June and July, 25 basis points. So ladies and gentlemen, this is the move in the right direction, bringing down 50 basis points, but it's only one of 11 other hikes that have really indicated where the market is today that still has a lot of progressive movement in a lower cascade to get the market where it needs to go. Now, the good news is that the Feds are promoting an additional 50 basis point reduction here before the year end, which means that it will start pushing us in the right direction, but we still have a lot of migration to do. Now, the projection is a full percentage point cut in 2025 and a 0.5 percentage point cut in 2026. Now, that means that we have a little bit of work to do in order to get the percentages down and get the basis points down. But some of the real good news in regards to mortgages and borrowing rates is that the Federal Open Market Committee chose to lower the key overnight borrowing rate by 0.5 percentage point or 50 basis points, aimed at signs that inflation have improved and we're getting closer to that 2 to 2.5% inflationary mark that the Feds have been trying to get us to. Now, with that said, how is unemployment doing? Now, although unemployment is still at historical lows, it is starting to show signs of weakness because it is slowly starting to creep up. Unemployment is up a little bit, and so these are the monetary reasons that the Feds are utilizing to justify why they're bringing down rates, and now is a better time than it was 4 months ago, 6 months ago, 9 months ago, and as we projected, by the third quarter, moving into the fourth quarter of 2023, we would slowly start to see this reduction in interest rates. Now, one of the things that we look at is the federal funds target rate. And when we look at the federal funds target rate and we compare it to 2008, right where we're sitting today is right at 4.75 to 5%. And so we are looking at a constant increase. And if you graph it, you can actually see where the graph actually climbs to that 4.75 to 5%. And then plateaus over several months, both in 2008 and today. For the first time, we see a decrease. We saw it in 2008 happen, and it's the first time since 2008 that the Federal Open Market Committee has done something so drastic. And so it's the first time that both the Federal Open Market Committee said in 2008, it's time to lower it 50 basis points, and today is the first time since 2008 that they decided to do the same thing. So a big historic cut today. What does that mean for buyers? What does that mean for end users? And what does that mean for you, ladies and gentlemen, as an investor? This is the first cut in early days since COVID. And we can look at it now with a little bit better speculation as to where the market is going. Inflation is moderate. Labor market is slowly starting to show signs of weakness, but it's not where it needs to be. And for investors, the goal would be to get more of them in the market. And in spite of prices going up, I've always said there is more inflation in the market when interest rates are high and money is expensive because it hits all sectors of life. It hits the residential mortgage sector. It hits the automotive sector and what you're paying for your car payments. It has to do with commodities. It has to do with end users and simple credit card usage and the percentage that they're paying on these domestic credit cards. And so when we look at mortgages, we look at automobiles and domestic credit cards, those three things are the biggest debt factors in the United States outside of student loans. And so one of the big things is, how does this affect these three things? And is there going to be a push in migration to better times in the market? And the answer is always going to be yes. When interest rates lowers, markets improve. And since the Feds were looking at what I think the dot plot of where things were at in 2008 and compared to where they are today, and they're looking at this historic numbers, when I look at the graph and they are in conjunction with each other, and then we see them both drop with this 50 basis point reduction, to me that tells me if the Feds are looking at what happened in 2008, and we may be able to utilize 2008 as a historic run to what we're actually looking at doing today. So I'm going to post that graph, and you guys could probably see it behind me here. It's a great graph to reference for the federal funds rate and what's happening by the Federal Open Market Committee when we talk about the dot plot. Now, we want to invest in real estate and make sure that it's a safe time to invest. And I always tell people, and it's always a good time to invest. So to the disadvantage of those who have not yet taken advantage of the down market and where we were post-pandemic to where we are today, now mortgages might be coming down, but the cost for real estate is slowly going to start escalating as rates go down. So what does that mean for you? For a lot of people, they think, well, that's inflation, right? And to some degree, it is. When house prices go up, there's an inflation in the monetary market. But when the cost of money goes up, there's an extreme inflation in the monetary market. And so it's better to see monetary or even long-term increases in prices and values, because at least this way, you're holding equity in something if you're a homeowner, right? So if values go up, you might be paying a little bit more, but at least you have something that's holding the equity instead of holding nothing at all. When you rent an apartment, you hold no equity, you hold nothing at all. All you're doing is forking out the rent payments that are otherwise going to supply somebody like myself the upside on the inflationary values and allow me to go take advantage of whatever better interest rates that I have for a larger return on my investment, where you can be doing the exact same thing, either invest in a multifamily or just a single family home. Because now that interest rates go down, this is where you as an American person will actually save money long term. This is the inflation that we've been waiting to soften. It's not the inflation that Jerome Powell has been looking for and the Federal Reserve. It's the inflation of the cost of money. And ladies and gentlemen, as God is my witness, you just wait and see. Money will be printed again. You should be investing in real estate, because if you invest in real estate today, what's going to land up happening is it's going to go up historically. Warren Buffett called it. I remember when Warren Buffett, I watched a documentary on him, and he said, look at historically where stocks and real estate have went over the course of time, and look at the dollar and where we've been since Nixon took the dollar bill off the gold standard. And if you look at all of that, we have seen a progressive increase in value in real estate and in stocks, but the dollar bill has slowly over time gotten weaker because it's been taken off the gold standard, and now it shows weakness every single time we print money. But every time we print money, there's inflationary attributes that go along with that. And I promise you, as God is my witness, the Feds will print money again over the next decade. And when it does, those of you guys who have the fortunate opportunity of owning real estate, those values will go through the roof again. You think that real estate values were high in 2022, moving into 2023, when interest rates dropped to the bottom of where they've ever been historically, and you think that the values were high then? You just wait to see where real estate values go over the next 10 years. Because I remember looking at where real estate was priced by the square foot in 2007, moving into 2008, where they dropped all the way into 2010, pushing into 2012, and then I watched where they soared up to 2016. That was the plateau point of 2008. And then where they soared from 2016 to where we got in 2022. Ladies and gentlemen, the horizon for large profits is at the tip of your fingertips. For those of you guys who execute today, you have the fortunate opportunity of riding this wave for the cost of money and interest rates to go down, and to ride the wave of appreciated values to go up over the next decade. The choice is yours. The Feds are starting to lower rates. Doesn't have anything to do with who's in presidency right now. Jerome Powell and Larry Fink have more power than the U.S. president. Man, woman, Democrat, or Republican. Money wins. Economics wins. When you look at this as a macro scale, as an investor, that's what you should be paying attention to. The only thing that you need to be paying attention to in the presidential election is who holds the House and who holds the Senate. because the president has a little bit of pull as to what direction their influence takes, but ultimately it's the House and the Senate that call the punches when it comes to our economic growth, development, and laws, monetary and long-term, and what the changes to those laws are historically. And so, ladies and gentlemen, vote right, pay attention to what your goals are, and always be investing in real estate, whether it's residential or commercial. For more content just like this, more monthly updates, and investment strategies that you can count on for long-term wealth, then click below, subscribe to our YouTube channel, and pound that thumbs up button. Comment below on what you think this rate reduction will do to the economy. I want to hear your side of it. I can't wait to see you guys next time. God bless, and continue compounding your success.